Welcome in. I have just a thing for you. Helmet of pure invisibility. Give this.
The hilarious thing is that merchants and bartering actually make the most sense. Let me explain why. We have a financial system where you're working for a flat rate, X amount of dollars an hour, and they're printing millions of dollars an hour. Millions, which means they're always devaluing your mechanism of exchange. Every single day, your dollar is worth less and less, and you can buy less with it.
All right, so we have the current situation. Person 1 and person 2. Person 1 wants to buy from person 2. Person 2 wants to sell to person 1, right? And then you have this banker in the middle, who's the middleman, who gets to set price controls for this dollar and this dollar by printing them endlessly, right? Therefore devaluing this and this. So this man in the middle gets to choose how much this mechanism of exchange is worth and what it's valued at. So person 1 wants to pay a certain amount, and then they have to use this exchange currency, which is constantly becoming worth less and worthless. Person 2 has to receive this currency, which is becoming quickly worthless, right? Which means they have to keep charging more and more and more for their service, more and more and more. And then this person has to keep spending more and more and more and losing more money, losing more money, losing more money. Because this person in the middle is collecting the difference. They're collecting the difference and keeping it all for themselves. That's the current system. But imagine if you just took an arrow and drew it around this from person 1 to person 2 and just said, you know what? I don't need a third party to set the price of the dollar and to control the mechanism of exchange and devalue my currency and make me work more and more and more hours so I can buy the same gallon of milk, right? We say we don't need that. No, thank you. So here's what is optimal. Here's the optimal system. Person 1 wants to buy from person 2, and person 2 wants to sell a helmet of invisibility to person 1, right? So you have no middleman. This person gives some good or a dollar or gold or whatever to person 2. In exchange, they receive a service. Both parties fairly and optimally get to decide what is a fair value of exchange. I think this much gold is equivalent to the value of that service. And when they agree, they make a trade. And no one in the middle can screw either of them over and take a cut of it. And how can this be achieved? Bartering, all right? So how can this realistically be applied, right? You have all these communities, right? Some of them make clothes, some of them make food, some of them make yada, 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 whatever. And you have a community where each person has their own specialty of some good or service that's useful in the community. Somebody mows lawns, somebody makes food, somebody makes clothes, somebody makes medicine. And they all get to decide what the value of each of those services are and trade amongst each other. There's no middlemen, and the mechanism of exchange cannot be corrupted.
Subscribe.